Welcome back to another episode of the Scruffy Nerf Herder podcast.
Another day, another podcast.
You know, it's funny for my video game show. I started off this week and I was tempted to do it here because I was like, it's such a great intro. But over on the Nerf Report, I did Strangers from Distant Lands, Friends of Old. Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Report. And I was like, that's such a great intro for anything. Like,
It's pretty good.
it's
Pretty
like,
good.
can't top it.
Yeah, no, that's pretty tough.
But it's not a Lord of the Rings podcast. Maybe one day
we have like a closing thing we say all the time. Do we need to come up with like an opening thing?
We might need to. Something catchy. Something that gets the kids. Something
I guess
full of riz.
I was gonna say a lot of those YouTube ones are like there's a Pokemon guy. It's like, yo, what you and then there's this one that cracks me up again, big Halloween guy, but I want to say he's only like maybe 20, maybe younger, and he does this weird slow talk. I don't even know how he does it, but he's like, and here we are, 2024 video. And I was like, what is this guy doing? And it was so weird, but now it's like it's in my head, and I'm like, that's all you gotta do is come up with some catchy thing. Even if it's
I mean, I can go through them all the time, man. Like Philly D has like "Sup, you beautiful bastards," and Tim the Tap Man is like "Hello, good evening, good afternoon."
That's true.
Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we got to come up with something. So maybe that'll be our assignment for this week's show. So, how was your week?
It was good, man. It was good. It was a good week. Busy with some work, busy with some life things. My daughter's been, on the swim team, so she's kicking ass there, taking names. She's improving every week, so that's awesome and really exciting to see. I also got my kids really involved in chores.
Oh,
there's a sick app. I'm not, sponsored by this app, but it's called Greenlight, and basically I can put it on their phone or their iPad, and I can set up a list of chores that they essentially get paid like an allowance for.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's super fun and super awesome. And it's like I can schedule like specific jobs. So when I was like tearing down my Halloween decorations, I put a job on there for $5. You help daddy take down the decorations, and they came out, helped me out, got paid for it. So it's cool. You can put savings account, you can do a checking account. They get their own little debit cards with their names on it. So they're sick. They can customize it. I checked. I can't do any Star Wars or any like character from a movie or show. And I was like, oh, darn.
Yeah, you just got to go get stickers. Like those
Jeez.
Charizard stickers. Put those on top.
Yeah.
Just work around it.
I didn't think about that. That's genius.
Yeah. Roman, that's not happening. Christmas is not. No, it's not showing up.
Oh man.
No, it was a crazy week. It flew by this week. Like I literally feel like we were just talking yesterday about Star Wars, but then like I looked at all the stuff that happened this week, and I was like, holy crap! There's so much Star Wars stuff that went down. The biggest one, I think, and we have to talk about this, is we're getting a brand new Star Wars trilogy, which is huge.
That's crazy,
yeah,
and really exciting.
And the caveat here is basically it got announced. So the guy working on it is the writer of X-Men and the producer of X-Men. And there was a lot of conversation of like, oh, it's going to just continue the Skywalker saga. No, it's its own thing outside of the Skywalker saga.
Have we not specifically been asking for this?
I think they're just watching our show.
Next thing you know, they're gonna like be judging, lightsaber fights, coming up with their own lightsaber videos.
Look, you can steal our ideas all you want. Just put me into Star Wars.
That we've said that.
yeah. Put me into Star Wars. Speaking of stealing ideas, we kind of joked about this earlier this week, and I'm very interested to hear your ideas. So we talked about this trilogy, and we said like, let's come up with our pitch for Disney. So let's just imagine we're in front of the Disney board of directors and Lucasfilm. You're gonna pitch them on the brand new trilogy. Robbie, go ahead.
All right, guys, how you doing? My name's Robbie. Nice to see you. I'm excited to be here. Grateful for the opportunity. Appreciate you guys putting me in the film, by the way. Look here, okay? I love the idea of, let's say, like a Star Wars anti-hero trilogy, okay? Something like Guardians of the Galaxy feel, or Venom, Deadpool, throwing it out there. Something with comedy, something with action, a little bit of unlikely romance. You never know. So my idea was having a trilogy that kind of was going to be a bit confusing
Okay.
and very different from movie to movie. My first idea for the first film was to be not knowing that it was going to kind of go more of the comedic route. So the first movie basically will start off with a rogue Jedi group that
Okay.
I have named the Silent Order.
Ooh.
Okay. They basically are, and we don't know this yet, but they are very much like a very dark type of group of Jedi.
Okay.
And they are seeking to take control of the Kyber crystals. I want to call this whole trilogy the Kyber Wars. Okay.
Ooh.
They believe that they are the key to restoring balance to the Force, but their methods are dark and dangerous. So they work with our unlikely hero, who's going to be a female lead. Okay. She's going to be an archaeologist.
Excuse me, real quick. As
Okay.
a board member of Disney, female leads, we're all in. Carry on. Carry on.
Solid. So she's gonna discover an ancient artifact that could unlock the true nature and power of the kyber crystals.
Okay.
And she's going to work with this Jedi group, the Silent Order, and trying to help them against the evil empire that's continuously growing. Okay.
Okay.
Turns out that after the artifact is discovered in the first movie, basically you have this whole first movie of them working together, getting to this dark temple place where the ancient artifact's hidden. And then at the end of the movie, she gets betrayed and she gets left for dead, like locked in this like stone door, like Indiana Jones style.
Ooh.
Like this, no, and like that's how it ends, like this climactic sound, and then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So then
That's
you have
sick.
this like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And like people that don't know it's a trilogy are like excited for the next one. And like they are going to this temple that's defended by this like Sith um, group. I want to have them. Couldn't come up with a good name for them,
Okay.
but basically, this temple in the second movie, this temple is a hideout for this group of misfit Siths. Okay, and this is where the comedy kind of comes into play. So we're gonna say that they're like Sith rejects. We'll
Okay.
say so they're not super powerful like Vader, Darth Maul, anything like that. They're like the rejects, like the trainees that didn't quite make it to that status. You know,
Yeah.
I don't even know if this would ever work in a Star Wars universe because I'm sure maybe they'd probably just get killed at that point. But let's just say they never obtained like a true master and they were trained in the arts of the Sith. So they're evil, but kind of like jaded by the Sith at the same time. So they're okay with that being that anti-hero. So now we got this group of misfits. One of them would be like ex Imperial officer. So now he's like a mercenary, I'd say.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be the love interest of the lead character. So
Ooh.
they kind of like, because he's handsome and dashing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And basically, as the story progresses, the Silent Order has the Kyber crystals, and they're stupid powerful. They're like destroying starships and everything, like with nobody getting in their way. Um, this group of these misfit Siths have this idea that they're going to help her out, okay? But really, in their head, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna help her out because we've been defending this artifact for so long. Now it's been stolen, but we've been defending it because we want the power. Now that we have this girl, it's going to help us unlock the true power of this. We want to get it back." So now, the whole second movie is basically like them leading up to being pursued by the Empire,
Mhm.
the Empire is pursuing the Silent Order, who have the ancient artifact and the kyber crystals, and now this group's going to go try to take it back. So the end of that is like them going to go take it back. So
Cool.
then the third movie is this all-out battle of epicness on some new planet, and our lovable group of misfit Siths somehow find a way to thwart the rogue Jedi's plan of power and dominance. Our love interests are faced with decisions, one having to decide to be devoted to the Empire and reclaim his honor and status, or do
Mm-hmm.
what's right for the woman he loves.
Woo.
And then, to top it all off, our hero, this archaeologist, she sacrifices herself to destroy the crystals that could have torn the galaxy apart, knowing that true balance can never come from such power, you know?
Yeah.
As she dies, she just imprints her final thoughts and visions that the kyber crystals are not the key to the galaxy's fate,
Oh,
but
that's
its
beautiful.
greatest lesson, that the force is not found in control, but in letting go.
All right. If Disney doesn't steal that, we got to turn that into like a comic book that we can like put here on the show of like we're gonna like that's a sick story, bro.
I'm telling you, just I had this idea. I really like the idea of a comedic anti-hero
Yeah,
film. I thought would be
yeah,
cool with Star
yeah.
Wars.
Like you said, like Guardians, Suicide Squad,
Yeah, so, yeah, absolutely.
Thunderbolts. Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like you're kind of rooting for the bad guys in this. So now the Jedi are evil,
Mm-hmm.
which I think would also be cool because it's like even when we did our video, like I always lean towards liking like the Sith because I'm like they're just badass, they're just cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against like Luke or anybody else, but it's like I always tend to lean towards the bad guys because they just have this certain, I don't even know what you call it, like power, I guess. So now imagine if the Jedi were the bad guys in this, so then they could become cool,
Yeah,
and they're using maybe purple lightsabers or blue lightsabers, so like kind of pushes that, and now you're rooting for the people with the red lightsabers or the orange
yeah.
lightsabers. Like
That's sick.
I was kind of
Yeah.
inspired by like Balin too, because like I
Mm-hmm.
was really intrigued by his backstory, and it's like he was like, not saying he was a misfit or anything, he clearly had some power, but some where it's like you didn't really know who they were.
Yeah. No, that's huge. What rating would you think? Like, would you do PG, or were you thinking like R?
It'd have to be 13 or R.
Okay.
I'd say, ooh, it's tough because I feel like if you go PG-13, I think that's more like Suicide Squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go R, you're looking more like Deadpool.
With which, I mean, at the end of the day, those ratings don't mean anything because when I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, there was like 6-year-olds in the movie. So rated R doesn't mean anything
All
these
right.
days.
I would just be excited to see like the flip flop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Jedi being evil, like this rogue group of Jedi just killing people with no hesitation because they're just not. They were raised by Jedi's, but just not the way they're obsessed with power, which is more of a Sith trait. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like just it'd be cool to swap them.
Yeah, no, it's sick. And what'd you call it? The Kyber Wars?
Kyber Wars.
Bro, that's such a great.
Kyber Wars trilogy.
Yeah. You ever heard the story of the Kyber Wars? Oh, God, dude, that's great, man. Like,
It's thought to be cool.
that is so cool. It would be. And then, like when you got into the third movie and you're talking like an all out battle, I'm just imagining like Jedi versus Sith, just all on, just.
I would just, man, just even like even with like the crystals, like the power, thinking of what this artifact could be, and maybe it's something we haven't seen, like maybe a Jedi using Force lightning. I don't know how that would work with crystals, but maybe some things we didn't see, like lasers. Maybe I was gonna say maybe a lightsaber that shoots laser, but isn't that a blaster? I guess.
That'd be.
So
one of the guys goodness in Star Wars Rebels, there's a dude who has a lightsaber blaster.
oh, you said that.
It's literally the main character.
Yeah. He was
Ezra.
in Ezra.
Ezra.
He was in
Yeah.
series.
He's got a lightsaber blaster, which always felt like cheating, but no, that was
worlds, I guess.
That's a sick movie, bro. And I'm all in on that.
Thanks. It took me half the day today to come up with it because I was really trying to come up with. I was like, how do I come up with a trilogy? Like,
yeah, and it's also such a tough prompt because it's like you can do anything. So it's not like you're like, hey, do a Maul trilogy, and you're easily like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do for Maul. Like,
that's where I was leaning at first. My first thing in my head was like Darth Maul. Do something with Darth Maul, but I'm like, as much as I would like to see a movie solely on Darth Maul, I feel like we have enough of that with the Clone Wars and all that stuff. And I was just talking about it the past couple of weeks where I'm like, let's expand elsewhere in the universe. Like, let's not follow the Skywalker saga. Let's go elsewhere. And it was really hard for me to come up with something that didn't have to do with Jedis or Sith. I tried doing something with like bounty hunters, but then in my head, every idea I was coming up with, I'm like, I feel like that's Mandalorian already. I feel like that's Boba Fett. Like,
yeah,
I was trying to think of trying to root for the bad guy in like a Boba Fett aspect, but I'm like, well, you already got that, so it was tough.
Yeah,
it was a tough prompt.
Way better than my idea. I'm gonna just preface this by saying that way better than mine. Okay,
what do you got?
So my trilogy circles around the world of pod racing. Okay,
I thought about that too. Okay,
yeah. So like doing like a really like gritty underground pod racing movie,
like
where
Death Race.
like where it's like it's like the dark side of like you got these guys that are doing pod racing and they're going through the circuit, and
Oh,
like they've
yeah,
got
that's
like
great.
crime syndicates and like stuff like that. And you could expand it across like 3 trilogies. But I only got the first movie down of like what I thought would be cool. But like
Okay.
I really think you could do like, oh, in this race you get tangled up with like the Hut cartel, and then like you got to go
Okay.
do something here. But the first movie comes down to like our hero, right? And he's a underground pod racer who's like on the run from the Empire. And he finishes a race and he's like celebrating, taking his money, getting ready to leave, and the Empire finds him. So he jumps in a ship and then like takes off into space. And he's about to
Okay.
gun it into hyperspace, but when he guns it into hyperspace, the shaft breaks. And so it's just infinite hyperspace. He can't even stop it.
Oh shoot.
And
Okay.
ship eventually runs out of fuel, crash lands on like a random planet, and then he's there and he's like, okay, I'm here. Like the galaxy's never going to find me. I don't even know where I am. Let me just find civilization. So he walks out and he finds like a rural farm town, and like he starts befriending the locals and telling them like, hey, blah 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 blah. This is where I'm from, and they're like basically becoming like a unit, right? Like friends. And then he's like, so what did you do on your old planet? And he's like, oh, I used to race. And so the
Okay.
guy says, well, hey, on this planet, racing's outlawed. You're not allowed to race. Like, that's the one thing you can't do here. And he's like, racing's my life. It's the only thing I know how to do. Right. And so he's like, let me talk to the leader of your planet. And so he goes to talk to the leader of the planet. And then he's like, yeah, it's been banned for years. We had this crazy race circuit back in the day, and every driver died. So we decided to ban it. So nobody's allowed to race on this planet. And the leader has a daughter, and the daughter becomes like taken with this guy. He's like, hey, this guy's breaking the laws. He's a racer. He's a bad boy. He's doing what we're not supposed to do. So the guy leaves, and he's like, I got to figure out a way to race. And so the lady comes and she's like, hey, show me how to race. And so they like have this like on again, off again, where like he's teaching her how to race, but they're breaking
Okay.
the law and they're not supposed to do it. Anyway, leads to the basically him being like, you know what, screw the leader. We're gonna hold a gigantic pod race here on the planet. We're gonna just build, everyone's gonna build their own pod racers, everybody's gonna go their own way, and they start racing, and it's an epic race, and everybody's going, and they're celebrating at the end, and then the leader comes out and he's like, I said no racing. You guys are not allowed to race, and he shuts it down. And he's like, absolutely no racing in this town. And the dude's like, whatever. And he goes, and you're arrested. So he arrests the pod racer. And then the daughter goes to her dad and she's like, look, it's time to get rid of the laws. It's time to get rid of the rules. Like everybody just wants to race. And so the guy's like, well, you're my daughter. I understand. And so he legalizes pod racing, allows it to happen on this planet. And then, the guy and the girl fall in love, and then they just live happily ever pod racing.
Dude, I freaking love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much, dude. The only thing that halfway through it as you were talking, I was like, this sounds like Fast and Furious 11. Like this is Dominic Toretto finally went to space.
Yeah,
and
that
is
was
racing on another planet.
See, that was originally my idea. I was just going to steal Fast and the Furious, but I decided to steal the plot from Footloose instead. So instead of dancing, it's pod races.
I didn't even put that together. That's so genius.
Originally, I was like, he lands on this planet. He's like, don't worry, your family. we explore the galaxy a quadrant at a time.
That was so good. I don't got friends. I got family.
Yeah. I just
What a
want a
great
pod
idea.
race. There's no pod racing in this town.
I would. Don't know. I didn't catch that. That's such a great tie together. There's no pod racing in this town. Oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, your idea is fantastic.
Yeah. I would love to see. I like. Still, every time I watch Phantom Menace, I love the pod racing scene, and thinking about it in more of like a seeing. See, I can't stop thinking about pod racing now. Going to "Cause I Footloose." I would love to see that. I would love for them to do like more, I guess, today's graphics and see a pod race. That'd be sick.
Well, I also think that like if you wanted to, you could explore it in like a gritty sports side. Like you could tell like an up and coming gritty sports tale of pod racing, and it have nothing to do with the Skywalker saga, but it would be a good movie, and you'd be like, okay, this guy's a pod racer.
See some Jawas pod racing.
Yeah.
Random
Yeah, and
other
it's just like, hey, he's making bets before the race, and then he's like,
yeah.
Watto's like,
Watto.
I don't trust you, Jedi.
I just lost to a. I can't do it. I sound like I was going Spanish. What I can't. You do a much better Watto than me.
But yeah, no, I think the trilogy is exciting. I did want to share this with you because the people over at Culture Crave put together this dope screenshot that breaks down everything
Oh,
that
nice.
is being made Star Wars right now.
Heck yeah.
Share.
All
So
about that.
basically,
Ooh.
right here's the status of all the Star Wars films. Let me
Okay.
close this out. So up top, we've got the new Star Wars trilogy that we just found out about. So he's going to be writing all 3 films, and it's going to focus on new characters, new stories, and it's been disputed by multiple Hollywood reporters and deadline sources that this isn't going to be episode 10 and 12. So it's not 10 and 12. It's completely on thing. We got the
Okay.
Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is done filming, and it's going to be releasing in 2026. We got the new Jedi Order, which is Daisy Ridley's movie, which I'm very excited for, to see Daisy Ridley kind of have her own thing, and she's restarting the Jedi Order. I think that's super cool.
Got it.
Dawn of the Jedi, set 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga. The guy who wrote Andor is writing the script for this, which super
Nice.
cool. We are still getting a Lando concept, but
Oh, okay.
it was originally supposed to be a TV show, but now it's going to be a movie, and Donald Glover is actually writing the movie.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
that should be Cool. Dave Filoni. This is kind of the Star Wars movie that he's been given, and it's supposed to close out like everything he has. So Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett. It's all going to close in on one, which I assume is going to be like the ending of everything we're kind of seeing in all the TV shows. It's just that's kind of my assumption there. But Taika Waititi, who made probably one of the best Thor movies of all time with Thor Ragnarok. He's going to be doing a Star Wars movie, which will be fun. Sean Levy is getting a Star Wars movie, and then you got Rogue Squadron, which was reportedly canceled, but it's still under development. So you get like kind of like a Top Gun Star Wars movie.
Heck yeah.
And then Ryan Johnson, who we'll just leave it at that. Ryan Johnson is working on a Star Wars trilogy, which he is really good at movies that aren't Star Wars related, but unfortunately, his Star Wars movie I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, I mean that's a lot of different stuff that's kind of coming out.
It's a lot of stuff. I thought of doing something with like a pilot too, kind of like Rogue Squadron. So I felt like I was just kind of stealing that idea. So, but I would love to see that. I'd love to see some focusing on the pilots, more of like the generic pilots that were part of these big battles, maybe.
Yeah,
Or even in their own, like you said, like a Top Gun style. I think it would be really cool. Like a
yeah.
cadet. Just copy Top Gun and just just do cadet training and everything. That'd be sick.
What if you even did it like in the Empire? Like where it's like it's not even
Mm,
like you're just following cadets as they go through the Empire, like the training center.
yeah,
Like that'd be pretty cool. And it's just
that'd
like
be cool.
you're kind of like the rebellion of the bad guys, and then the Empire of the cool guys. Like
Flip it to where it shows. I don't want to say the brainwashing, but like the Empire just really fully saying like, "Hey, these guys are rebel scum."
yeah,
Okay, they're trying to. You guys like those paydays you get, huh? You guys like that time and a half that you're not getting. You can thank the rebel scum.
hell yeah. Here's a short film with the twist. If somebody would like to make this, you're more than welcome to. Do the entire movie where you see these guys training to become pilots and you never see them step foot in a TIE fighter. And the entire time you think they're training for the rebellion, right? You think like, hey, we're gonna take down the bad guy. And then the final scene is like, we're under attack. And you just see them put on the helmets. And that's when you find out they're on the Empire. So the entire time you're like, oh, I love these guys. And then you're like, oh, hold up. These are the bad guys. They're gonna. Oh man,
Look at the creative activity. The creative juices are flowing right now, man.
yeah. We just created the next 6 years of
Yeah.
movies for Star Wars.
Or if you hated all of our ideas, let us know that too.
yeah, come up with your own. Speaking of content, the other thing that got announced last week was Andor season 2,
I
which
saw that.
I'm very excited to jump into Andor. As soon as we do Skeleton Crew, I think we should do Andor, and then Andor season 2 is going to start on April 22nd, so we should be able to
Perfect.
segue perfectly in there. I can't say enough about the first season of Andor. I think it's the best Star Wars show we've ever gotten.
Really?
Yeah, it's very adult
Ooh,
like
man.
orientated, where it's just very heavy and like it's so oppressive in the sense that like you feel the power of the empire the entire show. And then the final episode might be the most insane Star Wars content I've ever seen in my life. And it like shows the rebellion starting and it's just like so
That's
good.
cool. Hmm.
Yeah. So one cool thing about Andor season 2 is basically they were saying that there's going to be a lot of time jumping throughout the show. So I think basically there's going to be 6 years of story covered, and I think it was like the first 2 episodes of the first 3 years, and then like so
Okay.
on and so on and so on. So there will be like time periods of jumping through the show. So I'm really interested to see how they pull that off. But either way, yeah, that show just could be garbage, and I would still love it because I think the Andor series is great, man. Like, it could literally just be the main character coming on screen just talking for an hour, and I'd be like, "Let's go,
This is the
dude."
best. This is the
Yeah,
best. I'm
yeah,
in. I'm all in.
I'm all in, all in.
Speaking of all in, man, I got
What'd
some
you do?
jokes for you.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm gonna go. Got a couple here. Okay. I
Okay,
got three like always.
Dagobah.
You like that one, huh?
I do.
Django
I've been
Butt.
thinking about it
It was
all
a
week.
good one.
It was a great one, man.
What do you call an invisible droid?
I don't know.
C-through PO. C-3PO.
That's a good
C-3PO.
one. C-3PO. That would be so great if that was his name in the prequels when he had no armor.
He's clear, yeah.
She's like, "This is my droid, C-3PO."
Oh, man.
That's good. That's a good one.
Next one here, I have my son Luke loves telling people that he's named after a character from my favorite movie franchise. My daughter Chewbacca, not so much.
You know how like there's like a list of names you're not allowed to name your kid?
Chewbacca's on there.
I would hope so.
Imagine Chewbacca, come over here and do the chores. Do you walk the dogs, Chewbacca?
I gotta look this up. Go bring your. Let me hear your next one, and I'm gonna
All
look.
right,
This
here we
up
go.
real
Here we go.
quick.
Here we go. Did you know that Fozzie Bear was in Star Wars?
No,
Yeah, he was an Iwaka Waka.
I love it. I love it for the sense that I have a shirt that I made that has Fozzie Bear, and he's got the Ewok thing on,
Okay.
and underneath it, it literally says Ewaka Waka. And I wore it to Disney. I was like, "This is my favorite. This is my favorite thing, man."
Love Fozzie Bear. I love Fozzie Bear so much, and the stupid Waka Waka. I've always loved that ever since I was a kid, and even as an adult. Like we have my mom has a dog that she named Fozzie. And so all the time when I see that dog, I'm like Waka Waka, and the dog gets like so excited. It's hilarious. Shout out Fozzie.
As of 9 years ago, all right, there were 9 people in the United States with the name Chewbacca.
There's legitimately. Hold on. I hate to do this as we're recording. I'm looking at Chewbacca right now on Facebook. I want to see if somebody's named Chewbacca.
And then Google AI responds and it says the percentage of people named Chewbacca is incredibly small, essentially considered statistically insignificant.
Ouch.
So to all the Chewbacca fans out there who your parents named him, congrats. Google thinks you're statistically insignificant.
Darn. Whew. I don't see anybody named Chewbacca. Well, this person is named Chewbacca, but unfortunately, I don't know if Facebook's necessarily like, I think you can put any name on there. Maybe something not actually named Chewbacca.
I just don't know why you would name your kid Chewbacca, but hey.
I mean, names are such a funny thing. Like, let me ask you this. Obviously, you're somewhat of a new father, within the past couple of years. Was it not such a kind of a hard decision? Like the first time, like with your first child, you're like, I have to name this person that I'm going to call them, and they're going to call themselves the rest of their lives. Like,
That wasn't, I mean, I know for my wife it was. That was definitely something that she cared about, and we had a lot of back and forth on this, but for
Hmm.
me, it wasn't it wasn't as big of a deal. Like it just didn't impact me as much because it was like I always felt that like if you were upset about your name when you turn 18, you just change your name. Like just get
It's
it
true.
changed. And I'll pay for it. Like if you're
I'm
like, I hate the name, I'll pay for it. It's like whatever.
Get ready. I'm about to change my name to Chewbacca.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing though, is like if you gave someone a terrible name like that, but like you obviously do like the name game, right? You go like Bryant, Bobiant, Fernanda, Fana, Fofiant, like you do all that and like, but yeah, I mean,
I Here's a tip for anybody trying to name their kid. Try to think of a, and this is terrible, but I always try to think, how could somebody make fun of this kid's name?
mm.
And if it was something I felt like they could, and I was like, I don't want to do that to my kid. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to make it easy for him. So
Yeah,
that was a odd way of how I based it. Also, I feel like when you're figuring out your kids' names too, there's names that pop up that maybe your significant other suggests that you're like, oh, I knew somebody like that. Oh, they were the worst. And it's like you
yep,
don't want to name them that. You know what I mean?
yeah. We've had that conversation a lot in our house where it's like, can't name that person, can't name him that because I knew a girl who was a jerk, or I knew a guy who was not cool, like
Yeah.
100%.
Can't
But
name
then at
them
the same
Plagueis.
time, I'm just like, yeah, Plagueis, Adolf, you can't. Those are names you just can't name them.
Yeah.
But there are people like I don't know. I also go by the thing that like we had conversations about names where there was a few names that I liked, and it was like, well, that's so and so's kid's name, and I'm like, so so and so's kid's not my kid. Like, I, I'm just like, we can have more than one
Yeah.
kid, and like one of the names that I love, and if we were to have a third kid and it was a daughter, it would be Thea.
Okay.
I just love that name. It's from one of the comics that I like, Arrow, and it's his sister's name Thea in the show, and I'm like, oh, I love that name for a girl. And if my son was going to be a girl, their name would have been Thea. But the big holdup on that is like it's one of the most popular names in the country right now.
Is it
And I'm
really?
just yeah, I think
Oh
it's like
wow.
top. And I'm just like, that doesn't bother me. Like I know there were so many kids in school, and you probably have a popular name, Robbie. Robbie's a very popular name. Or Robert's a popular name, and so is Zach, and so is Josh, and it's like everybody has a name. I've met a Bryant. We work with someone who has the same name as me. Like that's the
Yeah.
first time in my life I've ever worked with someone, but I've met other Bryants. So I don't know, man. The name side, as long as you're not naming your kid Chewbacca, I think you're good.
I
I
feel like you can
think
get
you're
away
good
with
in my book.
Luke, but Chewbacca,
Chewbacca's a little
little
rough.
much. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little too specific there.
yeah. That's insane that people have named.
You know what's funny though? Like I don't think I've ever met an Anakin.
Ooh, yeah. I haven't. I've never met an Anakin. I
Just wait
bet
till
the
they get to their teen years, and then he's like, "Oh, I hate you."
So here's the question though, is like, do the people name their kids that? Or when they turn 18, do they change their name?
So
Because
I'm
I could
saying
see some kids changing their name to Anakin.
I legitimately would possibly change my name to Godzilla just so I can be like, "Hey, my name is Godzilla." You imagine my business card?
Yeah, my name is Godzilla.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, just let's. I mean, I call you Zilla. What's
Dude, you
up,
got a
Zilla?
nickname?
Yeah, what's
Zilla.
up, Zilla? How you doing?
Oh
Um,
god.
you want to jump into the brackets for this week?
Heck yeah, man. I'm so excited about this.
So let's for the folks who are following along at home, let's pull up the bracket real quick. So last week we kind of broke down the Jedi Grandmaster tournament that we're doing here on the channel, and what we did is we picked people who have posted videos with their lightsaber or saber skills and techniques and stuff like that, and we're ranking them in a bracket system. So last week, Blind Jedi, Slaya, Big Boy Flow, and Lava Shay all moved forward. We've got 8 contestants this week. So first off, we're gonna jump into the lower ones with legit Jedi. Let's
Okay.
pull theirs up real quick. Legit Jedi, where you at?
Essentially, there are 3 lightsaber styles. 1. Single saber style. Used with 1 or 2 hands.
I like that he's like able to kind of like do multiple different styles.
Train if you're able to.
That was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Flares and tosses are always fun. One hand style adds speed. To hands.
Legit Jedi's at least just showing off right now.
Let it flow naturally. Don't resist. Just relax.
Oh, that's what we were doing wrong. We were resisting.
2.
We weren't relaxed.
That is. They look like
They look
pool
like
noodles.
they're bending. Yeah, I was gonna say they look fake.
Requires cardio and patience. Don't
Oh,
forget
I'm out.
Cardio.
Cardio and patience, the two things I don't have right now.
reverse grip if you're able. Walk
Dual
as far as
reverse
you
grip.
That would look so sick, but I wonder how battle effective that is. Somebody coming at you like that.
All right, number 3.
can. Lightsaber staff style.
Ooh, okay,
The longer
okay.
the faster they fly.
Hey,
I need to see what lightsabers are. He was able to put them together. He's straight up putting on a clinic right now. He's
I know.
teaching you.
Train to grip staff styles. Thumbs up and thumb to thumb.
That's sick. Oh, cut his
so
arms off.
so clearly very skilled with the lightsaber.
He's not a Padawan.
No, not
He's
at
been
all.
training.
100%, and very impressive because like at the end of the day, and this is the video I found of him. I got to see if there's a couple more, but like
Yeah.
he's clearly mastered like all 3 styles, and kudos to him. But legit Jedi is going to be going up with FUK my life on TikTok.
Okay.
Solid.
Poor song choice. That was not
I-
a what? That was a lightsaber.
Yeah. I liked the flip. That was the thing that I thought
The flip
cool.
was cool. The flip was very cool.
Yeah.
Yet again, don't know how battle effective that is. I feel like Obi-Wan would just I've
Yeah.
seen this before.
Yeah,
just like Annie.
don't jump.
You don't learn.
I also have to give kudos because I don't know if they were going for it, but they had like a very Shin Hati look going on with the
Oh, I
little
didn't
bob
think about
cut.
that. Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay.
the username also cracks me up that it's FUK my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I knew I was going up against legit Jedi, that's exactly what I would be saying at this point because legit Jedi that they kind of get the win there.
I think legit Jedi gets my vote on there as well. That no hand. What is that called?
What?
Cartwheel, no hands.
Oh, the cartwheel, no hands.
It's called something.
How's your mother?
Aerial, flare.
Yeah, the
Something
aerial
like-
flare. Yeah.
There we go.
So the next bracket is we got somebody by the name of the next bracket we have Solo Aphrodite.
Okay.
Unlit lightsabers.
She's just swinging these short little sticks. I don't understand.
She is every kid at a park that finds a stick.
Or me with pool noodles.
Skilled. Very skilled.
That was good. That was good.
Yep.
I don't understand though. I just saw a hilt. I didn't see any sabers.
I mean, they weren't lit. Mm-mm. Are we judging for unlit lightsabers?
I don't know how we're supposed to judge lightsaber when I don't see a lightsaber. I just see a hilt.
Okay, that's fair.
There's no saber.
That's fair. That does not bode well for Solo Aphrodite.
She's not doing well, so I apologize, Aphrodite, but you got it
especially when they're going up against this next one, Michelle C. Smith. Kudos to this one.
Holy cow.
Oh, look at that.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
got to be like a stunt performer or something.
Second half of the bracket, a lot stronger than the first half. I'm just going to throw it out there.
I'm trying to think right now who would beat that. That was nuts.
Very nuts, man.
She tried to cut off her own legs and still dodged it.
Yeah, and
That's
she did the
most-
jump and threw it behind her back.
Oh my god. So clean. Holy cow. And that was all one take?
Yeah, one take. So apologies to Solo Aphrodite, Michelle J.
I forgot.
Smith.
I forgot we were even. I didn't realize we still had to make a decision.
We're skipping 2 weeks of content. Michelle, you just win it.
I
Michelle,
was so enamored with what I just saw. That was I saw a girl swinging around not lightsabers and then a Jedi Master at work.
yeah,
Michelle,
100%.
bravo, well done.
Yeah, it's an incredible video to the point that when I saw it the first time, I jaw just on the floor. I was like,
Yeah, that was crazy.
she makes our videos look terrible.
I don't even want to watch ours ever again after seeing that. We should try that. We should.
Yeah. Let me get a pool noodle for that one because I'm not going to be doing that with my $400
Jump in a pool.
lightsaber.
Yeah, no way in hell.
All right, next bracket we've got a team called the Way of the Spider.
Okay.
A little slow motion, medium speed. He's doing the Anakin thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how the heck?
Also very festive for Christmas.
That was pretty good.
Interestingly enough, the Way of the Spider, great video, but they're going up against someone by the name of Damien, and I'm pretty sure they have the exact same music.
No way.
Yeah. So let's jump into Damien's real quick.
What are the odds?
Yep.
It's literally this.
Same. Yeah, it's the same concept. Now that I'm realizing it, slow, medium, fast. All right, so dual saber. Wow.
This is probably the most difficult one I've had to decide between.
Okay. This is kind of the interesting one because they both are pretty much the exact same video. It's just two different takes.
It's two different styles. Two different.
The most fair bracket because everybody's doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be like if we had said, "Hey, make us a slow to fast video, this music,
Mm-hmm.
show us your skills." That would be a perfect setup for what we just saw. I'm going with the second guy.
Okay, so Damien.
2 reasons. Skill wise, for both was very hard for me to say who was better. I actually think the first guy might have been a tad more skilled, although doing a double saber, that's crazy to me. But second guy, and this is maybe a stupid reason, but red and green lightsabers, Christmas. Okay, felt like it was a Christmas.
Yep.
And he had a nice costume on that looked like Anakin a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's why he's got my vote.
I'm definitely going to go Damien as well, but my favorite part is that he's like literally just in his front yard. And anytime somebody's filming in their front yard, I always just imagine the neighbors being like, what is this guy doing?
Like that guy that's chopping down the snowman.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're doing that. I hope it snows where we both live because I absolutely want to do that.
Yep.
I might have to buy a cheaper lightsaber because I don't think I'm doing that with my $400 one. But
we'll test out those new power sabers from the store. Yeah.
We'll get a couple different ones. Try with each one.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, so Damien's moving on. Way of the Spider, good job. But Damien will be moving on to the next round. Final bracket. This one, I think, is going to be pretty interesting because we have somebody by the name of David Hayden going up against Big Daddy Yankee.
Is that Uncle Fester? What is it?
One of the comments for this video says, "This is who I'm going to tell my kids Darth Vader was."
That strobing is tripping me out. Oh, he did a leg sweep. Is that Pete Davidson? He looked like, what were those aliens in Star Wars that had those really big foreheads that gosh, what was his name?
Master Qui-Gon or what?
The Kenobi series. One of the brothers. The you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Where they messed him up in the Kenobi series, but they had him, I think, in the
you're
second
talking about
movie.
one of the Inquisitors.
Yeah. That's what he kind of looked like with that big jacket, because I feel like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's going for. Because I
Yeah.
don't know where he got that jacket from.
I did appreciate the fact that he started off with like 3 different colors, and he was like cycling through colors. Big fan of that.
The problem was with the strobing, it was hard. You know what? I'm gonna save my comments till we see the next one.
Okay. Yep. So the next one is a creator by the name of Big Daddy Yankee, otherwise known as Carly King.
It's a sick jacket. She had to show off the jacket at the end.
She did.
She
Definitely
knew.
had to show it off.
She
She knew.
knew. Judges would love that.
She
Second
knew.
one's got my vote.
Big Daddy Yankee.
The jacket's way cooler than the.
I do have to agree with you on that one.
So here was my thing. The first one, I feel like the strobing counted against him because with it going off and on, I just saw a bunch of like, he's here, and then he's here, and then he's here. So it was hard to see the actual skill of what was going on with his hands. You know what I mean? Because it was just flashes. So I'm going to say, unfortunately, due to visual effects, I'm going to go with the second one.
Yeah, and it's one of those that I 100% agree. Big Daddy Yankee definitely in this series gets it. But one of the things that I've noticed like is the flaw in this tournament is we're really just picking whatever lightsaber videos we can find, or I'm picking them to source them. And I feel like if I went to each one of these creators and said, give me your best 30 seconds, this would be a completely different conversation. Because sometimes like a video like this, it's like, hey, show me what you got. And they're just doing something to make it viral. But if I was like, show me the craziest thing you could do, that's where we get interesting. So maybe the next bracket that we do, we reach out to people and say, hey, create it. Or maybe we even have people who watch the show on TikTok or on YouTube or wherever, like they're the ones that are submitting it. But yeah. No, it's interesting because there was another one that Big Daddy Yankee did that I saw right around Halloween time, and that's kind of how I got the idea for this. So this was the video that inspired me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And just like cinematically, it's a good shot, but like dressed up as a witch. And then they got the Agatha song.
Ah.
Yeah, so
that saber was sick.
Very cool. I was very opposed to yellow lightsabers in the past, but I think if I get the opportunity to go back to Galaxy's Edge, I'm gonna be picking up a yellow kyber.
Do they have that?
Mm-hmm.
So I have the white, purple, and the red one.
I have green, blue, and red. I would like a black if I could get one.
I'm surprised you don't have the purple or the white.
They're expensive, man.
The sounds, what I love about it is the different sounds. And the white one that sounds like Ahsoka's lightsaber is so cool.
Yeah.
Sounds so freaking cool.
Yeah. I also like that you can put them in like the holocrons and get like different stories and stuff from that. So next time I go, I'm probably going to pick up a few. But just to kind of wrap up the bracket. Yeah. Spend way more money than... Why can't I go to college, Dad? Oh, I got kyber crystals.
I got these holocrons on the shelf.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah. So just kind of wrap up the bracket. So for this week, the people moving on to the next round will be Legit Jedi, Michelle C. Smith, Damien, and Big Daddy Yankee.
Perfect.
Obviously, we're gonna close out the other half of the bracket, meet into the finals, and I am gonna reach out to the final two, just to give them the opportunity to say, "Hey, we're having some fun. We're ranking these videos. Do you mind filming us something special?" And if they don't, no big deal. We'll just pick a random video. But I do feel like we should give them the best shot
A
possible.
chance. Yeah. Show us
so-
their best work. What they feel is their best work. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, and if you are a lightsaber aficionado like we kind of are, and you're doing your own videos, please tag us in them. Hashtag Scruffy Nerf Herders, or comment in the comment section letting us know you filmed some, and we'll totally check them out here on the show. So
Heck yeah.
I got one last thing for us before we jump
Yeah.
into TikToks. We kind of had fun with Kylo a couple weeks ago, bashing on him, and I wanted to try another one with the speak kind of before you see this whole thing. So I'm going to show you a bunch of Jedi, and the
Okay.
prompt here is speak when you see a better Jedi than Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay.
Speak when you see a better Jedi than Qui-Gon Jinn.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
I have
okay,
to.
okay. What's your reasoning?
It's Mace Windu. He's freaking like one of the best lightsaber duelists that is completely out there. He straight up took down Darth Sidious. If it wasn't for Anakin, he wins that.
True. That's very true. I didn't think about that.
Sidious freaking took what was it, 4 of them that he took down before he got to Mace Windu?
Yeah, and including my boy who was in the beginning.
I was
Kit
gonna say.
Fisto.
That's but yeah, and it's freaking Samuel L. Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
Yeah.
let's not say anything about the actor. It's Mace Windu.
Yep, Mace Windu. I was tempted with Cal Kestis, but I don't. I got to see how Cal's story continues in the video games. We got one more of those. Also, apparently, Cal Kestis is getting his own TV show, which is kind of becoming fun.
Oh, nice.
Rey was tempting because she also beat Sidious,
That's true.
and brought balance to the Force. She also is alive. So is Rey a better Jedi than Mace Windu?
We don't know if Mace Windu is really dead. You know what I'm saying? He might just be missing an arm somewhere.
Oh, that's gonna piss off so many TikTok people this week. Today's video, we're talking about Rey being a better Jedi than Mace Windu.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Everybody who supported me against Kylo is gonna just turn on me.
Never mind. This guy's the worst. Any subscribers that we gained, we've lost now.
Yeah. So after Mace Windu, I had Luke Skywalker.
Have you not spoken yet?
I'll speak now. I think Ahsoka's a better one.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think Ahsoka, much like Qui-Gon, was ready to leave the Order, and Ahsoka did leave the Order and became a much better Jedi. And if Qui-Gon would have lived, or as you said, Obi-Wan, if Obi-Wan would have lived, would we have seen Qui-Gon stay with the Order? And I think that's just such a fascinating idea, and become a powerful Jedi.
I guess that's true.
And then, of course, Obi-Wan. Or Qui-Gon Jinn. So, but yeah, no, I think you're right. Mace is a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you
Absolutely.
had to put money on it, is Mace Windu dead?
Depends how tall, I guess, that building was. You know what I'm saying?
It was a pretty tall building.
He
It
did
was a
kind of
pretty
get
ball.
thrown pretty far away. It's not like he's catching the building on the way down.
True.
I don't want to believe it, but I'm going to have to say yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the body was never found. You know what I mean? We're going to have
Yeah.
one of those somehow Mace Windu returned.
Hey, I'm more into that. Like, what if he fell out the window and there was like window cleaning crew, and they just caught him? Like,
It's the droids.
like these droids are like,
That's a good point. One of those droids got to be cleaning those windows.
yeah,
It's so high up. You kidding me?
yeah. You don't got humans doing that. There's droids doing that. All right, so I got 3 TikToks for us.
Perfect. Love it.
One of them immediately made me think of you. So let me pull this one
Okay.
up real quick.
The fuck you mean?
So let me pause this to get the prompt going. It's saying when she doesn't want to do a Lego date night for the 66th time.
Look at
And then
that book.
yeah. Isn't
That's
that nuts?
it's like a 17 ring binder. Is
Mhm.
that's got to be the real book for that? That's insane.
My wife sent me a video this week that I thought was grounds for divorce in a marriage.
Okay.
So the lady posted the video and it was her husband likes to do Legos.
Okay.
And she's like, how I keep our marriage spicy. And she walked to like this bucket of Lego parts and she's like, hey honey, can you get me a drink of water? And he like left the table and she grabbed the random Lego parts and just threw them in the pile of his Lego parts of what he was building. And then the video goes to like him finishing his project and he's just like, what are these 6 other parts for?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That would be so frustrating. Because I've
Yeah.
had that happen to me before where I've
Mhm.
built a freaking massive I want to say it was when I was doing the Kylo Ren ship and I
Okay.
had these extra part and I was like because sometimes there's really tiny parts that they give you extras in case they get lost. But if it's ever like more than a 2-piece, it's never an extra part. Okay.
Mhm.
So when I saw it, I was like, where does this go? Like, and I had to work backwards and I ended up finding it. But I'm going to tell you, I was done. And then I was probably another 2-3 hours in just trying to find out where that part went. I would
No.
be just livid if that happened. Do not get any
My
ideas.
My
wife.
personality would be that I would look at it and I'd be like, yeah, it looks good. And then just take the parts and just
Oh, well.
check. No one's gonna know. All right, so here's this next one. Again, this one's more kind of like just Star Wars logic and kind of the humor of it.
Dies falling into a pit. Survives. Dies falling into a pit. Survives. Dies falling into a pit. Survives. Dies falling into a pit. Hey, wait.
Anyways,
Han
how many of
Solo's
them
still
fell into a
alive.
pit?
Yeah, the
Huh.
writers really love pits, man.
Man, who knew?
Who knew?
That's hilarious.
It's kind of like what you used to say about like um people surviving getting stabbed by a lightsaber.
Yeah.
A lot of people get
Stabbed in the
survive
stomach.
that.
Stabbed in the
Yep.
stomach, and you survive. It's okay.
Yep. All right, so this next one, I want to pause it before it goes live just so I can read this to you. So this video is titled "About to Leave the Jedi Temple," and then you hear a faint cry. It's been a while. It's been a while. since we have a youngling.
youngling slangs. Like as that was really good though. Like just using that song,
Yeah.
directed by Michael Bay. That was hilarious. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was
But
good.
yeah, that's all the TikToks I got.
Good ones this week, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the main stuff. I definitely want to hear other people's Star Wars trilogy ideas. Drop them in the comment section. Let us know if you got a better one than us, or if Disney, if you want to talk. Hey,
Hey.
we're all in.
We're listening
You know-
all ears.
Yeah. Give me some of that Mickey money, man. But anyway, yeah. Hope y'all have a great week, and if we don't talk to you before then, thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.
Always.